Texas jump-started their recruiting efforts in 2019 with the weekend commitment of high four-star athlete Jordan Whittington. Now, this is a kid that we had talked very seriously about making a five-star in the most recent recruiting rankings update, and a guy that is just knocking on the door and may very well be there here before the start of his senior season or at the end of that as well. Just a guy that can do so much on both sides of the ball, but mostly offensively, and that's where he's committed to play for Texas. Now, he's going to be playing slot receiver, and when you look at him, you're like, there's no way. You've never seen a slot receiver built like this kid before. Very broad, very thick, but when he gets the ball in his hands, watching the way that he moves, he's able to juke guys out in space, obviously able to run guys over if he wants to. When we saw him earlier this year at the Future 50, playing wide receiver, maybe not necessarily doing a lot in the way of separating from defenders, but still finding very good ways to make catches, win jump balls, and do a lot of things to bring in passes at a high success rate. And really, you just cannot argue with the production, with the effectiveness that he brings to the table. He chose Texas over Texas A&M, over UCLA, where he visited not long before his commitment to Texas. He had always been intrigued by Florida for some reason. Didn't really make it out there and get too serious with them relative to the other two schools, but Texas is very happy to have him. After the recruiting class that they signed in 2018, those were a lot of guys that Whittington had close personal relationships to. There was no doubt that they were working him over, trying to get him to be the centerpiece of this 2019 class, and that was very effective by them. And we're seeing that recruiting class in 2018 continue to pay dividends here in the short term as well. And Jordan Whittington, a guy with a great personality, somebody that's going to be good, bringing in other 2019 players to keep this positive recruiting momentum for Texas going. So just a big commitment here early in the spring for the Texas Longhorns.